a little bit disappointed, to say the least, on that quality save. We potentially could have that a bit more quality in the second half, but I think everybody can see what we're kind of dealing with here. We started the game by asking young Lennon Miller and Ewan Wilson, 17 and 18, 19, whatever they are, to play out of position. We're asking them to play higher up the pitch. That possibly spooked us a wee bit, to tell you the truth. But I felt that we started to gain a bit of composure in the second half, and as I say, I'm really pleased by the players' reaction in the second half. Never pleased with a defeat, never going to be, but I thought we showed a really good response in that second 45 minutes against a team that I thought were flying for spells in the first half, to be honest with you. As much as we say we can do better, you have to give credit to the opposition, because I thought that they were very eye-catching pretty much throughout that first half.
Encouragement that despite your injury problems, you're still right in it towards the end.
Yeah, the word I'm using to players there is resilience. We've had to show that for not just this week, but probably since the start of the pre-season, with what we've probably had to endure and the disruptions. Every team has that, but I've probably never seen it to this level, to tell you the truth. So it's never going to be an excuse for me. It never will be. You know, if we've got young players, we've got academy graduates or whatever, we have an academy to try and utilise these guys. And, you know, if our senior players out, they might get a place on the bench, they might get a chance to go and start in their team. But I think everybody has to understand that that's been immensely difficult over, especially this week, for, you know, the fallout from Ross County last week. And then, you know, midway through the first half, or whatever it was, I'm not sure what time Apostolos came off, but that disrupts your plans as well. That disrupts what we thought we would get out of him in the game. So what we need is resilience for the rest of the group. We are what we are. It's not going to change between now and Sunday against Kilmarnock. So we have to make sure that we wrap them in cotton wool and that we're in the best place possible to go and try and acquit ourselves well in the cup game. And, you know, without ever getting carried away with yourself, the carrot that's dangled is to come back to a place like this and maybe play another game of football over the course of the season. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. He had a bit of tightness to his thigh. I think he's then sort of stopped. Sometimes we always associate it with stretching for the ball, but it actually stops. And at that point, he's obviously felt a much sharper pain in his thigh. He seems really robust. He's played a lot of games of football. He's generally available and fit, as are a number of the guys that are out injured at this minute in time. So, yeah, we're obviously worried about it. I'll not go into too much more detail until we see the right specialists and get things scanned and all the rest of it, but it doesn't look great. Well, we want to try and win every game of football. You know, cup competitions are important to this football club. But again, I watched Kilmarnock the other night. We know we're playing against one of the best sides in the country. I thought they acquitted themselves really well in Europe. And it's going to be a different type of game, obviously a different environment. But we have to make sure that that group of players that I've just been speaking to post-match are fit and available, and I've got as many options as I can possibly have. But I definitely won't be adding them to that group, so we have to try and come up with a plan and a way of playing that we think gives us a chance to go through to the next round.
You seemed a bit surprised today by 2 added minutes, Stuart.
I think we all were, probably. Really simply, I think we're used to... I got it in the first half. I think we had more injuries than we would expect. I'm screaming and shouting, telling players to get up and obviously to try and continue with the game, as I generally do. Don't make myself any friends by doing that sometimes. But it's probably just the way I see it. But in the second half, we had numerous changes from both sides. We had a situation where their centre-back goes off, Proper goes off. And I just felt there was more than 2 minutes to be played in that game. There was real surprise for myself, and I think most of you guys as well. Whether that makes a difference in the game, I don't know. But it certainly sometimes seems that when you're looking for a bit more added time, it's not there.
Was it frustrating because did you feel they were creaking a wee bit defensively? Was opportunities there for you?
Yeah, I think that possibly becomes a wee bit disrespectful to Rangers, that they're creaking or they look nervous or whatever. I felt at that point we were just on the ascendancy. I just felt as if we were carrying a threat. I just felt as if we had a bit of dominance in the game when you're always looking for that 5-minute spell, 10-minute spell, whatever it be, where you carry a threat. And I felt that was slap bang in the middle of a spell where we were all right and we were good. And as I say, their goalkeeper looked probably more nervous at that point than ours. So, yeah, disappointed that it doesn't continue for at least maybe another minute, possibly 2.
If you've got another injury in Apostolos, I know you said about no additions before next Sunday, but does it put the urgency on getting more attacking players in before the end of August?
Yeah, again, but you need resources and you need money to do so. That's not to say that's not a possibility, but we are going to have to shuffle things here a little bit. We thought we'd pieced together a strong squad and tried to do a lot of that business early, and I know I've spoke to you about that. But it doesn't just become a case of clicking our fingers to go and get the next player. It becomes really difficult because we're not working with an awful lot of money here to go and do that. So we're continuing to try and come up with solutions. We're continuing, and Chief Executive and Board have been fantastic to try and help us in doing that. But also what I don't want to do is just bring in another player that I don't think contributes to us as well. It has to be someone that fits into what we're doing here and can obviously make some sort of impact. And that's what we'll continue to do over the next couple of hours, let alone the next couple of days. Great, thank you.